where do you see the best opportunity for development in the city in order to raise more taxes? Start with you, Mike.
Sure. Well, I think there are a couple of areas we need to look at. First, downtown. I've volunteered, served on the board of Beverly Main Streets for several years and have chaired the Economic Redevelopment Committee for much of that time. And what we have in place now is a vision, a plan for how to bring the downtown back. And specifically, from the train station down to the waterfront along Rantoul is the area that's right now targeted for some transit-oriented development, some residential growth. The goal there is to get more people living downtown who want to walk out their front doors and spend their money. Spend it on retail, spend it on dinners, night out. And we need that critical mass of people living downtown looking to spend their time and their money there to bring it back up. In knocking doors all over town, you come through some neighborhoods in Beverly and people just don't come downtown from where they live. And we can really bring that back in terms of growing retail, growing residential, tie that to the waterfront because we absolutely need a waterfront restaurant. And that's not all. We have an opportunity to work with abutting property owners who also ultimately want to develop their properties and put a restaurant or some shops or some condos on there. And we can build the waterfront in a way that people want to come downtown for the waterfront. They'll come downtown for the restaurants, for the waterfront, for the retail that is to come. And now we can tie the downtown from lower Rantoul down to the waterfront, back up Cabot into what's always been viewed as the retail district. And we can really improve our tax base that way. In addition, and I know others will talk about this, we have potential for more commercial and industrial use along 128 along Brimble Ave. And as I said, I know we'll talk more about that.
Thank you. Rick?
I'm glad Mr. Benton said raise taxes rather than use the political word called raise revenue. I think taxes have been raised enough. What we need to do in reference to the salaries that some of the city workers are getting, we need to lower those salaries if we're going to be realistic. We can't even keep up with the retirement right now. When we have our tax base set up, and then the proposition 2.5, we get that 2.5%, that's taking a big chunk of the new income that we have. Also hurting us, we need to take, with new growth, Windover just destroyed a building that was worth over $700,000 on Rantoul Street. Now that was part of the tax base. Every one of you here that's a property owner, next year you're going to have to pay a little bit extra because they're not going to be paying taxes on that building anymore. The new building they build is called New Growth. Now this is the old tax base. That's going to get added to the present tax base. So we're going to raise revenue, but we're going to all take a hit off of that new project. What they need to do in order to help the citizens out is to put a portion of that new building into the tax base that's been lost and keep our tax rate down. If we keep the tax rate down, then maybe some other commercial properties may come in here and want to buy a piece of property and rent it. But our property taxes are so high right now, that's kind of a deterrent for them not to do it.
Thank you. Tim.
Thank you. I was a former board member of the Main Streets organization, and I think they do an excellent job. We do need to improve the downtown, the waterfront, and not even from the waterfront, the Black Cow, but all the way through the Bass River and rezoning that so we can do some mixed-use development, which the master plan called for in 2002. That's one thing. The interchange is another. But one thing we always forget, we want to bring revenue into the city, but you have to watch our expenses and find creative ways, whether it be consolidating our city services like schools, what we did recently, but also with other city departments. We can consolidate them as well. But one thing we haven't done, I don't think, effectively, is work with other cities and towns. You see Salem and other people collaborating on purchasing. I think we need to do a little bit more of that to try to not only save money, but be run more efficiently.
Thank you. Bill?
Well, there's certainly an opportunity in the area near the depot train station where the new garage will shortly be built. And I think that we will see housing develop there. In fact, there is a project underway right now on Rantoul Street at the site, the former Kelly Infinity site. So I do think there'll be new growth from the area near the garage and near the train station. But the major opportunity for new growth is the redoing of the Brimble Avenue interchange. There are approximately 230 acres of raw land that could be opened up, as well as a great many businesses that could be expanded. And the beauty of the project is that while these things would happen, we would also take cars off the local streets. We would stop having the queues waiting to go to the music theater that extend all the way out onto 128. burning up gasoline and wasting time. So we have a remarkable opportunity in that area to get economic development while improving the civility, if you will, of the entire area.
Thank you.
One thing,
Tim, 30 seconds.
one thing I did not mention is Rantoul Street. We're looking to renovate Rantoul Street. It's been talked about for many years and try to get state funding. I recently talked to Mike Collins. I'm not too sure where we are on that, but he said 2013, 2014, we're looking at getting some state funding for that. It's all going to be state funded, but until that happens, I mean, if you want to bring a business downtown, you want a downtown that the infrastructure, the sidewalks, the street lighting is something inviting that you want to bring a business downtown and stay. Right now, I don't think we have that.
Thank you. Mike, 30 seconds.
Thank you. Yeah, just on that point, you know, this Brimble Ave proposal we're looking at $20 million. The Cabot and Rantoul proposal, several million each. You know, the downtown infrastructure has been really kind of waiting in line for quite some time. And to do what we want to do and hope to do with the downtown, that does need to happen as well. So you know, I think if we, and right now you have to work through the Metropolitan Area Planning Council and the subsidiary of them, the Metropolitan Planning Organization, to get these projects queued up in line for federal dollars to come our way. So it's a challenging effort, and I think we need to focus on all of those as time goes on.
Thank you. Rick?
A lot of these monies that are being talked about in our current fiscal problem that we're having through the country, I don't see those monies really coming in as they're supposed to be right now. We need to try to maintain what we have and be smart again with our tax bases. In Falmouth, Massachusetts, for residential property, the tax rate last fiscal year was $7.50. This year, for residents, the tax rate is $7.20. They save $30. The commercial property is 7.2% also, or $7.20. Big difference. That's it.
Thank you, Rick. Okay, Bill?
I agree with Mike that the downtown needs more emphasis, but I don't think that improvement will yield huge new growth. It's something we all want, but it's not going to, in my opinion, generate the amount of new growth that might have been suggested earlier.